Hello, everybody. Yeah, I was almost on time. I'm 1 minute late. It was nine. It was supposed to start at 9:15, and it's 9:16. My apologies. Um, yeah, I feel like my friend Diane sent me a message last night and was like, "Are you gonna go live tonight?" And I was just so tired yesterday that I decided I was gonna save it for today. And I didn't do it this weekend either. I felt like I don't know. I just needed to enjoy some. I needed to just like do some stuff. I needed to take care of some things and just like live in the moment a little bit. But no, it was fun. I had like a birthday party and stuff like that to go to. So it was. I didn't really have a free moment, but I have one now. So I'm excited to be here and chat with you all, and just want to give it a couple extra minutes to get some people to pop in here. See Megan, Rafi, hello. I hope everybody is doing well. I wanted to take the time today to talk a little bit about Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse, which is the sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse, which was just a phenomenal movie. I just am gonna, like I said, give it a couple seconds before anybody comes in here. But I figured we could chit chat, do our usual, the usual, like, how's life? How's everybody doing out there? Got people have exciting things going on, maybe not. Maybe you're having a chill week. I'm just curious what's up with it all. I just wanted to pull up the Spider-Verse stuff. Oh, I want to watch this. I want to watch this Flamin' movie about the Cheetos, the creation of the Flamin' Hot Cheetos. So, you know what's wild to me? Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse came out in 2018. It's been 5 years. Isn't that insane? You're like, where does time go? When it's something where you're just like waiting for the sequel of it for forever, you're like, okay, yeah, it felt like that. But I mean, I was waiting for the sequel for this, but it was still just one of those things where you're just like, I can't believe it was 5 years ago. I just wanted to check and see, was it the same? There was a little bit of a switch up in the directors, weren't there? It was like Peter Ramsey. Yeah, okay. It was... Okay. Sorry. I just wanted to look at some things before we really got into it. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Oh, 22 years, best friends. Good for you guys. Do you like this right here? This is the air conditioner in this apartment. Has constantly for the last like couple of years been kind of kicking the bucket if it gets too hot, and I have to keep like cleaning out a hose in there. I don't know. It's so stupid. Anyway, so it's already doing it, and it's only been like 80 degrees, so I was like, uh-oh. So that's not great. So I have to keep the panel off of it. It's just the whole thing. I'm just over it. But there's air in here, so I'm not going to complain too much. Oh, Lizzie, my friend Nicole is here right now, and she is also was like, I just have to watch the Vanderpump reunion special at night. So that's so funny that you're doing that too. I'm sure there are a lot of people doing that, but I just want to dive right in here, talk a little bit about it in case anybody who's like new and isn't used to this shows up and they're like, why aren't you talking about Spider-Man yet? I like my Miles Morales shirt. I think this one is so cool. This is also a Roosevelt's, but it's just like, I like it because it kind of looks like it looks like webbing, but it's like shapes in his costume and everything, and I love it. There's a white version of it too that it's like the same kind of pattern with like black lines, and his suit still. So that one pops too, and that one's really cool. But it's a lot of fun. But yeah, so if you have not seen this movie, I cannot stress to you enough that Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is a movie that deserves to be seen in the movie theaters on the largest screen that you have access to. This is like one of those movies where this is the reason why we go to cinema, and this movie is just a phenomenal example of the power of animation as a medium of storytelling that isn't, sometimes I feel like there's a lot of people who think animation, cartoon, it's children's. You know, if it's animated, it's children. And I know in years recent, a lot of people are trying to break that mold. Like I know that Guillermo del Toro with his Pinocchio was really adamant about it not being a children's movie and stuff. And that's I do feel like that is true. And we have had adult animated things before. And of course, like Family Guy and stuff like that. There's adult content out there that's animated. But like, this is a work of art. This is something where every single frame of this movie is something that you could pause and I'd be like, I'd frame it and put it on a wall. It is absolutely gorgeous. So I really liked, like I said earlier, Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse came out in 2018. So that's 5 years ago now. I thought this movie was great. I thought it was so surprising. I had no expectations from it, other than being excited to see like Miles, but they had showed like a weird clip of it that was so out of context at the end of the Venom movie. It was like a stinger credit scene that it was just one of those things where I was like, I don't know. It was just a weird piece of the movie to show so out of context, but it was one of those movies where I saw it and I was like, I can't believe how good this movie was. And then like I saw it like 2 or 3 more times and like saw it with other friends. And I remember seeing it with my friend Genevieve, and she basically like, she like did this thing where she like leaned out of her chair at the end of the movie and went, I think that was the best Spider-Man movie I've ever seen, if not one of the best movies. And I love seeing that experience of people. Hey, Rocket. Sorry, Rocket's like chewing on his nails right now. I can see him doing it. But yeah, so I was like blown away because it's also one of those movies like Into the Spider-Verse. It could only exist. Not could only exist, but I was just like, it works so well in this medium. And I remember just like, it had this new type of appreciation for like that whole thing, for me, at least personally, like for animated films and for that. Cause I was a very, where I was like, well, I've seen animated Spider-Mans. I've seen, the 90s Fox Kids Spider-Man, which is phenomenal. And I believe that's on Disney Plus, but, we've seen animated Spider-Man. I was like, this feels like a step backwards because now with the feat of technology and things, I was like, I want to see Spider-Man come to life. And I love those movies. And also I felt like it was a little undercutting of Miles Morales, who is a character that I know it's significant because Miles is a half black, half Puerto Rican. Yes, his mother is from Puerto Rico. They say it in the movie. So that's a big deal, and I am a firm believer. I talk about it all the time. Representation really does matter, and I think it's just a gateway into all these like incredible stories that we get to learn. And I think it's also a path to empathy and this like sort of like growing our minds and spirits and souls and all that sort of stuff. And so it's crazy to me, this incredible piece of work of art, and I was like, there's no way, there's like, it can't top this, right? Because like even the trailer they showed, because I only watched the first trailer, and when they showed, like, I felt like they showed not too much of the storyline, because there's so much more to this story than just like, what's the plot, what's going to be the thing. It was like, I didn't want to watch any more trailers because I was like, oh, they're going to give too much away. But I also was worried because I was like, is it going to go too far into the comedy? Is it going to be like too many Spider people? Because then the commercial, you see like hundreds of Spider-Men, right? And it was just one of those where I was like, I don't know. How do you balance all of that? How do you balance this many characters? Oh my God. I was like jaw on the floor. I will get emotional sometimes in movies just because I love filmmaking and I love storytelling and I love that sort of aspect of when all these sort of elements kind of work together and come together. And when there are things that are just like so perfect, I'll get like emotional, like I'll tear up, or, sometimes I like legit cry, but like I was like emotional a lot in the movie because it's just, and I've seen it more than once. I've seen it twice now, and I'll probably see it again, honestly. I saw it twice in Dolby, and I was like just kind of blown away by it's not just a good like written story. Like that's the beauty of this. It's a it's an excellently written story that is an incredible follow-up to what came before, while being just like so much more expansive sort of thing. And it was visually astounding. The artwork was incredible. The direction was off the charts. Like, my biggest complaint, I always say, Craig and I always have this conversation because I don't love Big Hero 6. It's not because I don't like the story, but when I watched that movie, I thought to myself, okay, this is a big deal, because I think that was technically the first like animated Marvel film in like the like since Disney had bought them. I could be mistaken, but I don't, it's not like part of the MCU, I don't think, but it is. I mean, I don't know. It could be. No, it can't be, because San Francisco, it's like another world thing. I mean, it's probably part of the multiverse, but it's technically a Marvel property. And I remember kind of thinking like, the story's good, but I wasn't blown away by any of the action. Like, I was like, you literally, in animation, you are not confined by what a camera can do. I mean, in terms of like the mind being able to understand what we're seeing, sure, but even then, I don't know. Across the Spiderverse even did some really out there stuff, but like, you could literally do anything. So and this movie really did like it's just this orchestra of like, just like the zooming in, out, where the characters are in relation to the other characters. It's just this beautiful symphony that all kind of comes together in such a powerful thing where it's just so well done, and it just moves along at a pace that is like non-stop. It's a long movie. I mean, I think it's like 2 hours and 20 minutes long, but it is, honestly, the second time I saw it, it felt like it was over in a heartbeat. Again, I talked about it with Craig, and he was like, because he's like, could you cut out stuff here and there and make it a tighter, movie? And he's like, I don't know where I would even cut anything out. And I even said, I was like, I don't know. I was like, I'm a firm believer that I don't think it always ends up being true, but I do believe stories need as long as they need to be told, whether that is 45 minutes, 3-hour opus, or whatever. And that's up to the storytellers, the filmmakers, everybody in there. And sometimes people get caught up in their own like bloat and ego and things like that, and there's stuff where you're like, that doesn't need to be that long. Like, how much slow motion do we need in the Justice League I was going to say the black and white one, but it's not black and white, but in the Snyder Cut, we don't need that much slow motion, even though the Snyder Cut is a much superior version of the Joss Whedon one. And I do actually enjoy the Snyder Cut one, but it's like one of those where I was like, I don't know that we needed it to be as long as it was. But Spider-Verse is one of those things where I'm just like, I felt so many things. Like, I was a little bit like, Oscar Isaac as Miguel, who's the Spider-Man 2099, is just so good. So it's Miguel O'Hara, and he's from Nueva, New York in the year 2099. But he's like kind of the only Spider-Man who isn't funny, and like, it's just my God, the second he's on screen, it's just the animation, the way they make him look, the intensity of what it is, and it's one of those where like, the desperation of what he's doing, like, it's difficult because he's trying to make sure this like universe doesn't unravel, but at the same time, like, he's going about it so intensely, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like, well, we're Spider-Man, like, shouldn't we be trying to save people, not just let people die? And and it's like, well, at what cost? And it's the classic. It's one of the things I love most about the original Tobey Maguire, the first Sam Raimi movie, which is the Green Goblin's holding up the kid, and it's the tale. The tale's old as time. That's not what I mean. It's the quandary of a superhero to begin with. How many lives for how many lives? Like, and he's got Mary Jane. It's like, suffer the woman you love, or let die the innocent children. And he's like, and that's the thing that happens when you're a hero. A madman comes along and he makes you choose. Now choose, and he drops it. And I love that shot where like, people will be like, the shots, she's not falling this way, and the thing's falling this way. And I'm like, it's a metaphor. It's a visual metaphor, you idiot. But anyway, I just think, I just think like that is the ultimate that is a key element of Spider-Man. As Spider-Man, and they say it in the beginning of this movie almost too, where Miles is just like, Miles' dad talks about it, was like, no matter what I do, I'm always letting somebody down. And everybody, I feel like that's such a relatable feeling, but it is Spider-Man, because Spider-Man can't be Peter Parker, Spider-Man can't be Miles, or he struggles to be both, but being both is what makes him such an incredible superhero. And I just feel like this movie delivers on this aspect of this thing of like what it means to be Spider-Man, but also like being your own person. Miles' mother tells him at one point in the movie, there's this beautiful speech that made me so emotional the second time I saw it. It was emotional the first time, but it is on the equivalent of that. Like, we always talk about the Aunt May. I feel like one of the big things in the Tobey Maguire movies is like the Aunt May, monologues that she gives Peter, specifically in Spider-Man 2, where she's like, there's a hero in all of us. People will line up in the rain just to be able to say they were a part of it. And Miles's mom says something to him where she's like, okay, you're going to go. And she's just like, I want you to make sure that you take care of this little boy, and wherever he goes, because I can't take care of him the same way anymore. And I need you to take care of the little boy, the little boy being Miles. But I want you to know, like, when he's in a room with people that say he doesn't belong here, that he has a voice that tells him he does belong here and he does earn this and he does things. And the incredible way that comes around, where like this beautiful thing where Miles is basically like, it's you, it's my family, it's these people that make me stronger, that make me more powerful, that make me smart, and it's just this like, it works on so many levels, because I just feel that in term, like, it's a beautiful thing. They kind of touch on it a little bit. The mom says to him, where she's like, I wish I could be in a position where you were, meaning like they've come a long way to be able to get to where they are. And I just think about it, in terms of representation, in terms of just, inner city kids, like, or anybody that's ever, LGBTQ, like anybody that is a part of these groups that are just marginalized, or, just as simple as men and women, like women being told like, no, anybody who's ever been told they're less than, being able to be like, it's just this beautiful, like, and it's crazy because there'll be all these people we know and love who are sometimes telling us you don't belong here. And that's the part where it's like, when you belong somewhere, you belong there. Like, and it's just one of those things, it's just beautiful. I don't know. It got me thinking about a lot of stuff, like unconditional love between parents and stuff. And I feel like there's the thing I've always loved about like Spider-Man, X-Men, very much more, especially in X-Men, is just kind of that sort of dichotomy, or like look at like, it could also be interpreted as like these kind of queer coded characters where it's about, having this secret, but having to live a second life, So when I was younger growing up, X-Men, Spider-Man, Power Rangers, these shows were on TV for me, and they made me feel like that the thing that made me different, being a part of this queer community, it felt like it was like, yes, it was a thing I did many times feel like I had to hide, and not in ways that other people have had to hide, but in ways where it was just about being like, it was my secret. It was my secret. It was my superpower. And I haven't embraced it in ways that I wish I would. And I've recently been learning more and more about like internalized homophobia and things like that. Thanks to, there was an episode of Queer Eye, the Louisiana season that just came out. And there was a lot that I didn't recognize about maybe myself, where I don't know that I live to be the truest, the most out loud version of me. Like, I don't know who that is still. But I know that I've definitely not grown into that full me yet, because of a lot of that stuff, because I'm afraid to be myself, sometimes in public. I mean, my friend CJ dealt with it with me when I was in Austin in February, where I was like afraid to wear my gold sneakers outside, because I was like, I don't want people to like look at me in a weird way and things like that. And, so I don't know. So it's like, it's crazy how art and movies and things like that can make you feel seen and just like inspire. It's a beautiful thing that cinema does. And I don't want to talk, I don't want to get into really like super specifics about it or anything like that. I just wanted to give my general feelings about it, why I just think this is an absolutely incredible story that many people, I think, can see different things of themselves. And there's artwork, like the Gwen Stacy universe, the artwork in that is gorgeous. I think I'm going to have to do a Spider-Gwen painting. I want to do one of those ones where I do like the split painting, and then I want to do like the pink and the neon blues behind her. And there was a lot of that. There was immediately my first thought in that was there was a lot of like, I was like, oh, it's all the transgender flag colors and stuff. And I know the directors have said they also, what they were thinking about was from Sleeping Beauty, when the fairies are making her cake and the dress, and it's kind of that like color shifting back and forth, this twist and pull and things. And I don't know. So I've seen a lot of online chatter about, kind of this like this trans story, this story how that could resonate with like trans community and things like that. And I think that's really fascinating too. I mean, that's the thing where I didn't know anything about that, like the Matrix kind of being that sort of like queer coded story. I don't, whether it was intentional or not, it's still, that's the thing, is that in art, sometimes subconsciously we create these things. Sometimes we don't even know what we're doing, but once all the pieces fall together, I mean, look at splatter art. You're throwing colors of paint, and you never know what you're going to make. And sometimes it's a Jackson Pollock, and it's crazy. So I have been talking for a while. I am going to start scrolling back. I have been justified, or I've been confirmed by John that he is half black and half Puerto Rican. So I was right. But yeah, I just think this movie is just absolutely a must see, and I really think it's worth seeing more and more. Yeah, and John brings up a great point. Did you know, if you have seen it, there is like minor spoiler alert. If you don't want to go in like blind, this is a teeny tiny spoiler alert, which is, Rocket, please stop licking me. That's not the spoiler alert. My dog is licking my legs under the table. He does that when he wants attention, but don't we all? So a 14-year-old, there's a scene in a Lego universe, and a 14-year-old did the animation for it, which apparently he did the animation. He did one of the Spiderverse trailers like completely in a Lego form, but he did it all through computer animation. And so like that's how I think he got it. Like, that blows my mind. Good for this kid. Good for them giving people a chance to do this sort of thing. I can't even imagine the number of artists that had to like really work on this sort of thing. Like, I think I just read somewhere this morning that the chase that Miles goes through in the Miguel O'Hara universe, where all the spider people are chasing him, took like 4 years to animate. I think about what's crazy is the first movie, like Miles' universe is a very unique animation. It was like, I think like Sony even patented it or something like that. And they're very distinct. And what was really cool is all these characters like Spider-Ham, the Noir Spider-Man, Penny, and Gwen and everything. They were all like kind of different types of animation, and they were even like rendered at different frame rates and things like that. And I think that was really cool. Miles goes into other universes that are completely different types of animation palettes. So it's like that same thing blown apart to the next level. I cannot fathom what Beyond the Spider-Verse has in store for us, which was originally scheduled to come out in March of 2024. However, that timeline has been removed from the official Twitter of Across the Spider-Verse. And I saw an article with Haley Steinfeld, who voices Gwen Stacy. They said, have you recorded any of your dialogue yet for Beyond the Spider-Verse? And she laughed and was like, no. And whether she's telling the truth or not, who knows, because, they can only say so much. But she said that she had been recording dialogue for this movie for 4 years, which I'm very sure is true. Like, they probably recorded stuff, they animate to the recording, vice versa. Like, I don't know how the process works. I'm sure it's unique for all different properties, especially a unique property like this one. But it's wild to me. There is no way. I cannot imagine that this one's coming out, even though I think they were making these, and the intention was to make these back to back, like one long, like they were working on them as one story. And if you've seen the movie, you know that to be true. But I don't know too, because it's also like this movie is very long. Like, did that change when they set out to make it? All for the better, because this movie is phenomenal. It is not just like this incredible Spider-Man movie. It is an incredibly animated movie. It is one of the best movies I have seen in like forever. It is giving me that same feeling that I had after I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. That same sort of like powerful, so many things going on in here. There's layers to this that are just like, I like that excitement feeling I had when I watched it. So it's just, yeah. Anyway, I thought the music was for this movie too. I wanted to bring that up because in here Amanda was bringing it up. She said, I think music is the same way when many people can listen to the same song and different meanings at the same time. I 100% agree with you, because there was that Dance Monkey song that came out that like made me really emotional during the pandemic, because there was a point where it was very much feeling like that song starts out just singular, only sang by like one, and then there's like a chorus, and it gets more intense, and the song rises and rises, and it's sort of about like somebody seeing someone and being like, oh, can you do that again? Can you do it again? And then more and more people have eyes on it. Can you do it again? Can you do it again? And that's all they want. They don't care about anything else. And I remember being like, there's like a sadness in that song that I don't know that everybody is like catching on to in the same way. And it was very unique. But yeah, it's one of those things where I do have to say, I thought the music was like flawless in this movie too. I thought the soundtrack for that first movie was great. This one was just like weaved in so beautifully, absolutely gorgeous. Just like just everything about this movie was top notch. So I will drink out of my Spiderverse cup now that luckily Jill's husband Steve picked up for me, because for some reason, AMC hates cups unless it's a Fast and the Furious movie. They only do popcorn buckets. And I was like, I like a big cup like this because then I get all my water in. Anybody else seeing any good movies? I just reserved my ticket for Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. Is that what it is? The Beast Wars, whatever. I don't know what it is. But I was like, I have AMC A-list, so I was like, I'm going to see it. I mean, like, I used to watch Beast Wars like because it was on around like Power Rangers and stuff like that, but I reserved my ticket for that. Who knows if that'll be any good. I liked Bumblebee, so I was like, and then I have my Indiana Jones ticket as well. There's like a bunch of movies. I just did this whole thing where I'm like, I feel like I could keep talking about it across the Spider-Verse, like break it down and like more, and I'm sure I will someday, like maybe when it comes out on, you know what, I need to get involved with this. I think we're gonna bring Alyssa back in and have her help, because she is just one of the most knowledgeable film people I have ever chatted with, and I just love having a conversation with her about it. Ooh, you could win a Porsche. Hold on. You could win a Porsche experience. Oh, experience. So someone's going to drive you around. Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. So the AMC at Disney Springs finally put their Dolby tickets on sale. So that is there. But let's see. Movies. What does it do? Does it do like coming up movies? New releases? Rocket. Honey. So I think he has a hangnail because I can hear him like literally cracking down on his nails. What happened, honey? You crack your little fingernail? You crack your little nail? But he gets angry, and he doesn't like when I confront him about it. Let me pull it up. I just did this earlier today, actually, where I was like, hold on, I gotta quit the Safari. Okay, let's see. Coming soon. Okay, I do want to see The Flash. I'm sorry, but any chance I can to see Michael Keaton as Batman again, I'm 100% gonna take that in. But that's like comes out like right up when I leave for Disneyland, and so I'm just like, so I'm gonna have to see it when I get back. But I don't know about Elemental. It doesn't like I'll probably see it. But it's not something where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see that. It's just one of those where I was like, oh, go if I end up going. But I do want to see Asteroid City, because I see Wes Anderson movies. I don't know where I stand on Wes Anderson movies. Like, I don't always like them. I liked The Grand Budapest. But I was so tired when I watched Life of the Dog or whatever, and I like fell asleep in that one. And I haven't seen them all either, so I don't know. But Asteroid City looks good. I want to see The Blackening. That looks like it's going to be hilarious and awesome. So those three movies, Elemental, Asteroid City, and The Blackening, all come out June 16th. We didn't have movies for forever, and now all of a sudden we have like multiple movies a week. And then the week after that, I want to see No Hard Feelings, which is that Jennifer Lawrence movie where the parents want her to like sleep with their kid or whatever for Malibu. And so I think it looks funny. I like Jennifer Lawrence, so I'm just like, I want to see that. And then after that, there's that movie Joyride that is coming out that looks hilarious. If you haven't seen the trailer for this, look it up. It is from the producers of Neighbors and the co-screenwriter of Crazy Rich Asians. Joyride stars Ashley Park, Sherry Cola, Oscar nominee Stephanie Sue, and Sabrina Wu. I'll see anything with Stephanie Sue in it. Also, she was only in one episode of the last season of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and I was like, bad. Not the last season was bad. I just was like, bad. But that comes out the 7th. then I definitely want to see the new Insidious movie. I haven't seen Insidious 3 or 4, but those are prequels. This new one is picking up the story from the first and the second one, and it's the last movie, they said. So it's the last of this family story, and it's Patrick Wilson and Rose Byrne, and the kid is in it again, and so and Patrick Wilson's directing it. So I do really want to see this, because honestly, the two Insidious movies, the first two, are some of the best, like, really like cool horror movies. Like, they to me seemed like modern day Poltergeist. So I highly recommend those if you haven't seen them. They're not like bloody or anything, so they're a little spooky, but they're so good. And the one I cannot wait for, I cannot wait for this. I'll jump up and down on my couch, because Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 is coming out July 12th, and that I am going to see, like, whatever preview, largest screen humanly possible. I love Mission Impossible. Those are probably my favorite, like, action movies. I think the majority of them are just absolutely phenomenal. Even the one where it's like, sometimes the second one is the one where you're like, ah. But, like, they're all great, and they have just been one better than the other, and I'm worried this one will be the one that finally breaks that streak. But they're saying, like, this one and the next one are going to be, like, the rumor is that's it. Like, and then that's the franchise will be done with. I can't see that happening, but I love these movies, and I really cannot wait. I cannot wait. And then just the right after that, literally the next week, the next week we got Oppenheimer, and I think Barbie comes out the same day too. I want to see Barbie, and then the week after that is Haunted Mansion. Oh my God, I saw this preview today with this movie that looks scary as hell called Talk to Me. It's an A24 film too. And you know how they pick those movies. And it is like, it's scary. It's scary. And then right after that, Ninja Turtles. And then I want to see Blue Beetle. I really want to see that Strays movie. That's August 18th. That's the one with Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx as their, like, stray dogs. Always seeing movies about puppies. I think that's kind of it that's on my, like, radar right now that we know about. I know there's a movie coming out in, like, September I want to see, but it doesn't really go that far ahead. I'm just looking through my AMC app. But yeah, so it looks like we got a good combination of, like, some funny action movies, some fun horror movies, all that. And I'm just ready for it, honestly. And I missed it so much, I'm basically like, okay, I could see the movie more than once, you know, if the movie's good. But, like, Spiderverse, it's like, ugh, I can't. I was like, I wonder if the morning showing. No, I can't. I was like, I wonder if I can go and see it in a large format before it's gone again. That's the thing. It's like, we didn't have any of these forever, and now it'll be like, Spider-Verse only had 1 week in this large format. And then I think Transformers is in there. And, like, whatever, I get it. It's a Transformers movie. It's meant to be seen on a gigantic screen. But it's like, when Mission Impossible comes out, it's only on the large format for a week. I've heard that Tom Cruise is, like, calling around Hollywood and, like, theater, like, stuff to get people to change that, because, like, basically Oppenheimer takes over every single IMAX and large format screen, and like, yeah, it should. I mean, I get it. It was shot that way and stuff, but, like, it's also like we've been waiting, and that I love Christopher Nolan movies and things, but I do feel like it was kind of a crap decision to put the two of those right up against each other, because Mission Impossible is, like, the movie that's going to have saved cinema, right? Like, that's the movie that got the protocols in place so that they were able to keep working and things like that. And I don't know. It just feels like it's gonna. I don't know. I know he's upset because it's only in there for, like, I think 9 days, and then it switches over. But Oppenheimer's in there for, like, 3 weeks, so it does feel a little imbalanced. And I feel like, release your movie sooner than Mission Impossible. But very excited, very excited. I think Oppenheimer is going to be, like, that. I'm very much looking forward to. I've enjoyed really every Christopher Nolan movie. The only one, like, I honestly, I'd even rewatch. I watched Inception. I rewatched Inception, Prestige, Batman, all the Batmans. I love Interstellar. I like Interstellar a lot. I know a lot of people get lost at the end or whatever, but I'm like, I don't know. It's like, everyone talks about 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I'm like, it's the same kind of ending. I was like, so I don't really have a problem with that, because, like, we can't definitively know whether it could or couldn't happen. But, like, I don't know. It's more about the story. I love the music in Interstellar. But yeah, I want to see. I can't wait for Indiana Jones. I think that's the next one coming out that I'm the most excited for is Indiana Jones. So I don't know. The early reviews are very mixed, and I'm like, but to me, like, I read snippets of non-spoiler reviews because I hate spoilers and I won't read any spoilers, and I won't even really read reviews too much. I just sometimes when they show a movie really far ahead of time, I'm like, what's going on? And like some of them are like, it's a wild movie, blah blah blah. That's not as good as the original 3. Da da da. And I'm like, I think there's an element of nostalgia to the original 3 that's still wrapped up in them. Like, I'm not saying they're not good movies, but I also think people accepted the absurdity of the movies. The Nazis' faces literally melt off at the end of the first movie. A man's heart Indiana Jones is controlled by voodoo in the end of the second movie. The third movie has a 1,000-year-old or 2,000-year-old knight alive in a tomb, and someone drinks from a cup and they like burn away. And then like the fourth one has the aliens. I want to be like, does everyone not remember what happens at the end of the movies? Is it just that? Like, you grew up with those ones, so you accept those ones, but you can't accept that sort of wild thing happening in a new movie. So it's crazy. Yeah, and the thing is, Jason in here is making a good point. It's like, with the writer's strike going on, a lot of stuff is going to get really quickly delayed again. So just when we were starting to find that pattern of COVID, like the back from COVID, we're going to have a delay from the writer's strike, but rightly so. Pay your writers the money. They deserve this money. This is the thing. The same thing happened, I don't know what it was, like 12, 13 years ago. They had a writer's strike. It was like 2009, 2008, I think. But like, it's just one of those things where I'm like, my friend was like kind of explaining it to me because they're in the business and stuff, and they were just basically like, one of the biggest problems right now is that the contracts and everything that are drawn up are still drawn up as if you're writing for a 22, 24 episode TV show that has like reruns and stuff like that. But with the onset of like streaming and the adoption of the shorter format, like the British shows, where you get like it goes down to 13, 10, some episodes are only 8, that you're getting locked in to these contracts, but you'll get locked into an exclusivity deal where you can't not write, like you can't go work on another TV show, but only for like 8 episodes, maybe a year, maybe every year and a half. So it really like locks you into like not being able to further your career or creatively work on these things or just a living. Like, and the wildest part about all of that is like the amount of money that's thrown around for all these things. Like, it starts with the written word on the page. That's where the imagination begins for the story. And I do believe, like, I do like seeing all these kind of elements, that the actors are like banding together with the writers. I guess the directors got their thing figured out, so they're like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, no spoilers on Indiana Jones, unless I just spoiled the original ones. But is that the joke? As I just spoiled the 30-year-old movie? No, but 40-year-old movie? Gross. Was it 81? Was that when the first movie came out, or was it 82? It was while he was still doing Star Wars. Oh my God, I'm going to look this up, and it's going to make me sad. I mean, I wasn't alive, so it doesn't matter either way. But Raiders, 81. Whoa, that is a 42-year-old movie. Yeah, but it's just one of those things where I do feel like, I don't know, we're in this day and age where it just seems like every time somebody above is trying to find profits, they always take it out of the people who are the hardest workers, who are the ones on the bottom, who are the ones struggling the most. And it's kind of like, take it out of your own pocket, you greedy asshole. Sorry for the language, but it's everywhere. That runs rampant throughout everywhere. It's just unseen, unheard of profits for all these executives and CEOs, while people are still living off of a minimum wage that hasn't changed since like the 90s. And that is insanity to me, when the pricing for everything has gone up so high. But then also, like, I don't know. I was thinking about it. I was walking around Universal today at work for work, and I was like, just thinking about how quickly so many things that we took for granted are just going to disappear because of all of this sort of pattern that's been happening slowly, but now in the last couple of years, exacerbated very much by the pandemic and the lockdown, how it's kind of just going to be one of those things where I was like, I know there's going to be a future where it'll never, nobody who works at a full-time job at a restaurant will ever be able to afford or a fast food place will ever be able to afford to live like with less than 4 roommates or something. I feel like we're already onto that, but I'm just trying to think, and I don't mean to use like fast food as the bottom of the thing. I was trying to think of like the jobs that are everywhere, fast food, grocery stores and things like that. And it's really sad. It's sad and it's frustrating, and it's like, how do we make that change? And so like, good for all these people coming together to like help hopefully make a better and a more fair life too. It's also the thing is I don't think people are like, give me all your money. It's just kind of like, give people the share that they deserve. You know what I mean? Like, it's just people don't know when enough is enough. And it's just like, the craziest part about the system that we have set up is like, once you are rich, it feels really difficult to not be rich anymore. Because like, your money then makes money for itself. So you don't even have to do anything. But so then like, why not just help people? I don't know. Why don't people help people more? That's the thing that makes me like sad. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on that tangent. But anyway. So I'm going to do, so it's back to Indiana Jones. I need to do like a rewatch of all 4. I feel like I've seen Raiders and Temple of Doom recently and more often in the last like couple of years of my life. Like, honestly, I haven't seen The Last Crusade, I don't think, since I was like a kid, but that was the one I watched all the time when I was a kid. So that's the one, and I think that one's probably my favorite, because I also love Sean Connery and stuff. And I don't know, I love the whole thing like between him and the dad, and that was cute. So I need to rewatch them. And then like, I haven't seen Crystal Skull since like it came out on DVD, I think. Because I know I have it on DVD, but it's like, I don't know. I remember sitting in the movie theater, and I remember for Crystal Skull at least enjoying the feeling of being in there and watching like an Indiana Jones movie, even though some of the stuff that happens is so insane and absurd. It was still one of those where I was like, I'm happy I'm in this movie theater watching Indiana Jones. Like, and I wouldn't take it away. You know what I mean? Like, the refrigerator with the nuclear bomb is absolutely insane. The ants that climb on top of each other, the freaking aliens are stupid too. Like, all that stuff. But it's still one of those things where I was like, well, this movie took place in the 50s. It's about the 50s. Like, it was all about like sci-fi and the fear of aliens and communism and all this sort of stuff. So like, yeah, that's what it's going to be about. This one, they found the wiggle room because it's like the 60s with the space race. They did utilize Nazis like in history. So it's like tied into an actual historical program here. But yeah, so I'm going to watch them. I'm going to do a rewatch, I think, of all of them. But yeah, very excited for that. Anybody see anything good recently? No spoilers, but I did finish watching Ted Lasso. And I'll just give my opinion on the final episode without going into specifics because I still feel like it's too fresh. It's my Iron Man heart. I feel like I think I liked the last season, honestly, the best of the 3 seasons. I know that's not the majority, but I ultimately didn't really like the last episode much at all. It didn't feel like a last episode. It felt like it left so many things open, but it seems like they're so determined to say the show is definitely over. So I'm so confused. I'd be okay with a spinoff because ultimately I feel like the show wasn't really about Ted Lasso, especially toward the end. And so also he's not my favorite character. So, I mean, I love the optimism that he brings and the way people's lives are changed by it. But they also like kind of like Rebecca was my favorite character. So I just feel like it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like, yes. Like, and there were episodes like right before that were great. I watched the show Shrinking, and Shrinking is so good. I'm actually rewatching again. I watched because I was so tired yesterday, I put it on again, and I've watched 5 episodes. It's 10 episodes. They're 30 to 40. So it's a quick watch. So, you did just see Rise of the Beast because I'm going to that on Thursday. But yeah, what did I say I was going to start next? I'm I'm between Hacks, Barry, because I know that's ending, and I want to watch that before it gets ruined out for me. Barry, Hacks. There was another show on Apple TV though, the Door Prize, the Great Door Prize, the Big Door Prize. That looked good. I don't want to watch that. And I like went to put on Platonic, but that's where I was like, this is still going, and I feel like I want to watch something where I could just watch the whole thing. So I was like, I paused it like 10 minutes into it. Oh, I do like Alf. Oh, good. Jason likes Rise of the Beast, so I feel like I'm gonna hopefully enjoy it. I'm excited. I have tickets like Friday night in the Dolby Theater for that, so that'll be good. That'll be fine. It's no brainer. I genuinely, I didn't love the first Transformers movie. I liked the second one way more than the first one because I thought like visually it was so much easier to see the Transformers, and I liked the action more. And I know that's not the general consensus is that one's terrible. But then I enjoyed the third one. I didn't really like the fourth one, which was the one where it was like Mark Wahlberg, right? But Mark Wahlberg's in 2 of them because there's 5 of them, right? And then a Bumblebee movie, so 6. So this is the 7th one. Am I wrong? But I feel like the 5th one had brought back characters from the first 3, so but didn't have not Shia LaBeouf obviously, but I don't know. Those 2 I like couldn't. The 5th one I couldn't. I literally was like, I'm just gonna go sleep. I can't understand what this is happening in this movie. Righteous Gemstones. Yes, I started that. I'm like 4 or 5 episodes into it. I've got to keep watching that. She-Hulk. I'm gonna put She-Hulk on again. I really like She-Hulk. I know like a lot of people hated it, but I thought it was funny. I thought it was good. Like I love a good sassy commentary show. I don't know. Okay, I am right. There were 7 Transformers movies, so yeah. But yeah, okay. Platonic, I'm definitely going to check out. I'm trying to like work my way, be like, okay, what's on Apple TV? What's on Max? You know, and go through those. Oh, I still got to watch the Tetris movie on Apple TV too. Pretty Shiny People. I don't know if I've heard of that one. Yeah, Trey is younger than me and watches shows like he's my mother. Like he is a decade older than me. It's funny. He loves a good good like 80s show. Designing Women. I know. I will watch Designing Women. Good Lord. Oh, I don't know that I knew it was Gene Smart and Designing Women. So after Hacks, maybe that'll be the final thing to convince me. I do know that at some point I'm gonna watch the movie that Trey got me, which is Serial Mom. You know what? Maybe I'll like rip. Well, I'm not gonna say that on the internet. I was like, maybe I'll put it on my iPad so I can watch it. I just you know what's crazy is there's like an animated Transformers movie coming out too that like they were like Chris Hemsworth will be doing the voice of Optimus Prime, and I was like, why? What happened to the voice of Optimus Prime? We've only ever really had the one voice of Optimus Prime. I'm like, I don't want to hear another Optimus Prime. And I don't care how old he is. I assume Optimus Prime popped out of his mommy's minivan and just spoke with that voice. So I'm like, oh, I don't know. That's weird. Anyway. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up in a few minutes just because I got a couple of things I still need to do. Look at this thing my friend Jill brought back for me from California Adventure. It's the thing that Rocket drinks out of in Guardians 3. He takes it out of the refrigerator when Peter's drunk and like is yelling at him about the Zune. And I was like, this is such a cool sipper. I just love the look of it. It's so weird. I'll probably take the little straps off. I don't know. Walk around town with it, you know. Gal on the go. She needs her space juice. See, for me, it's got to go. I've got to get it over the shoulder because I know I'm on the microphone. Oh, the Duggar family documentary. I've heard about that. I can't hang it. I don't like when it's just hanging over this thing. I like a purse, like a side bag. Anyway, that's that. Going to the parks tomorrow. Not sure where I'm going. Waiting on somebody else to figure it out. I'm sure he will. Tell me where to go. Very excited for my California trip, for the boys' trip. Doing it with two of my good friends. And, if you're out there, please feel free to say hi. But I apologize. I'm just like, I don't know how to be like, I'm not going to ever not talk to people. But it is like it is a boys' trip. I haven't really ever done one of those, so this is a first for me. So, I mean, it's a first, it's a historical event, and I can't wait to see everybody just living their full authentic selves and being so happy. And I'm trying to lean into it as much as possible. And so, I just want to be there. I want to celebrate. And so, yeah, if you see me out at the parks, obviously stop and say hi. But yeah, I'm excited. I don't know why I'm like nervous about it. It's so stupid. I don't know. John, if the sipper is still there when I go back, we'll see. I'll see if I can snag you one, maybe. You just have to remind me. Have I watched the Brady Bunch movie? Amanda, are you crazy? Of course I've watched the Brady Bunch movie. Hello? No, I'll never be a teen model. Marcia. But Chan, you don't have any friends. It's my favorite line ever. I've seen both. I've watched those Brady Bunch movies, both of those, like way, way, way too many times. Yes, Greg. But yeah. I'm excited to watch Magic Happens again. I'm excited to just be out there. I have a like gummy bear shirt I'm gonna wear. We'll see if maybe I'll post something with my outfit. But I'm gonna wear my gold shoes. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah. There's a new brewery opening in Anaheim that are like just opened, or it's opening like this weekend. It's called Villains Brewing, and it's like in a place where there was a Modern Times Brewing, which I liked. I think this took over that space, but I'm excited because there's a couple of like IPAs on there that look really good. But I like their logo, and I'm like, I'm gonna get one of those glasses when I get there. You bet your sweet bippy. So that's why I'm like, when I get there on Wednesday, that's right where I'm going, or not right where I'm going. I'm gonna go hopefully see my friend Carrie if she's not on the picket lines. I would love to see her and have some lunch, and then head down to Anaheim. This is where you got to get in a day early, and get in, go to the brewery, pick up my other friend when he gets in. Then we're going to go around. I don't know where to take him. And then my other friend gets in at like 10:30, and we'll get him. It'll be fun. It's going to be fun. I don't know why I'm saying all my snack itinerary thing. Did they release like a full event guide for the evening? That's what I'm kind of waiting for. That's why I'm glad I'm going to the second night, honestly, so I know like who and what to watch out for. Just because I'm like, I want to know what's worth it to get. I just want it because it's got a rainbow. I want it because it's good. It'll be fun though. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking at it as basically being like, we get to see all the, it's different than the other types of night. Because at like Star Wars night, it's like, yeah, everyone's a fan of Star Wars. But like during the day, everyone could be a fan of Star Wars too. So like the party event is like literally like everybody in that park is either a member of the LGBTQ plus LGBT. I'm just making up new words for the community. Everybody's a member of the queer community or an ally to the queer community. And I was like, I don't know that I've ever been in a space that large with that many people having this sort of an experience. So that's part where I'm just like, I need to soak it in, live it up. And there was a part of me where I was like, I'm not going to bring my camera, but I was like, of course I'm going to bring my camera. I mean, I'm not recording it to show anybody really. I feel like, because I don't know that I'd put like Disney stuff on here. I feel like that it's like gets a little weird, but I also like paid for the ticket myself, so I don't know. But no, I want to like try and live in the moment. I told myself when I go to the park on Friday, no camera, just your cell phone. But yeah, so there's that. I'm gonna go now. I feel bad because more people are just popping in and everything like that. I know. I just called it like LBG key. I said key was the word too, and I was like, it's fine. I forgot Gay Days was this weekend, and I didn't really plan accordingly. But my friend Kevin had a birthday party, and you know what was really cool? There was just like so much love at his birthday party that it was just like such a nice place to be. And everybody, like, I was the only one that nobody knew that was there, and it was just this, like, really cool, everybody was just so nice and so welcoming and friendly and kind, and so it was just like a really nice experience. I don't know. I had a lot of fun. So I'm, like, glad I did that, and that was on Saturday. So that was, like, this technically started at 2, but I didn't get there like 6 o'clock because I had, like, really bad anxiety on Saturday that was, like, basically paralyzing me. It was one of those I can't really move days. There was so many things I was trying to do at once, and I just couldn't seem to finish any of them. I do want to remind anybody that is on my personal Patreon, which is patreon.com/Ryno, RYNO1185, that I haven't posted this month's contest yet. I'm going to. They're all Marvel themed, but I just, I want to see if I could maybe get my hands on, like, don't quote me on this, but I'm trying to, like, suss it out. I want to mix it up just a little bit and make it, like, I don't know. So I'm trying to debate, like, what's too much, what's too little, that sort of a thing. And so, like, there's some fun stuff coming. But I think there's going to be a sipper. I think there's going to be a Loungefly or two. That could be one. And that's the thing I'm debating, like, whether there'll be a painting or not. It's just one of those, like, I don't have a Marvel painting done because I did that Star-Lord and the Groot one, but I think I'm going to do every one of the Guardians and keep them. So, but I might do, like, another Star-Lord, and that might be the painting. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So, I don't know. And then also maybe I want to include something from Disneyland. I don't know. I just don't know. Gang, I don't know. I know everything after this month. It was just this one I was a little like, But yeah, so there's that. And I just want to let everybody know, too, that I have a couple more art pieces that are going up. I'll show you the update on my skateboard. I worked on it a little bit more. Or my skateboard deck, because technically it has no wheels. So I added this, like, the power line symbol up here. Do, like, my midsection. And then here, it looks red right now, but this is going to be neon pink. And then I think, like, the bubble letters, I'm going to, like, curve, like, some light hitting area. It's going to be, like, neon blue. So I think I'm going for that. Just the light reflection here. So then I think I'm going to do that with this and then, like, add maybe some of that highlighting up here. So that's this right now. And then you know what's going to happen? I'm going to work on this so much and I'm going to like it too much. Man, my thing's, like, kind of blown out because Max's face is like Max's colored face, right? So it's like, see? When I point it down, you can see it. So I might sell. I'm probably going to sell this, but I'm, like, going to end up liking it too much and then have to be like, no, can't sell it. Sorry. I'll keep this and the power line painting and then be like, But I just don't think anyone will buy this for what I would have to sell it for how much work I've been putting into it, because I'd have to sell it for at least $250. But let me get one more thing. I'm just going to show you really quick. Da-da-da-da-da. Bear with me. I hope you can still hear me. Hold on. I'm back. I'm sorry. I know I wasn't going to show the art. Now I am. You see my Groot painting? Did I show this already? Like, look at this. Look at how well that background came out. Baby, sometimes I got it. I was working on this background, though, for like an hour and a half to blend all that. Like, that came out. That is way better than the Star-Lord background. And this, like, Groot is like, he's giving me the muscles. He's just giving. This one's going to go up. Man, I'm a little blown out. I'm going to lower my thing here at the last 2 seconds of the show. I'm just going to bring my ISO down back into a real life thing. That's a little more appropriate. Yeah, whatever. But this one's going to go up there. I feel like this one came out pretty good. I like the green with the yellow. So that's going to be up on my art site. Look at these. So I wanted to do something to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to. And so I did, because they were the returnees. Ba-da-ba-ba. I kind of want to just keep this Billy one, though. Not that I don't like Zach. But it's I'm not going to do any of the other ones because really, I mean, I know like the other ones came back too, but they're the only two from like the original 5. I don't even count Tommy. Like Tommy is original, but it's like, but he wasn't there for like 20 episodes. Kit is going to be up there for all you people that made perverted jokes. This is him holding his board, his skyboard. Oh God, see, too bright still, too bright because you can't see the color. I don't want to lower it anymore, but whatever. Anyway, it'll be up there. That's going to be up there, so maybe whoever got blue will want that to go with blue. Look at this one. I'm just showing you this one I did. This is the King Prince John. Do I show this, though? I feel like I already showed this for you. And then that one's for somebody. So that's it. And then I have a Max and Roxanne one that is coming out pretty cool. That I did post in my Instagram story. That's like green, pink, but then it's like orange in the middle. And I'm excited about doing that one. There's that one. There's a Scrooge one. There's a Scar one I kept working on. So I'm going to have a Scar one. And then I can't remember. There's another Daisy because somebody asked me to do another Daisy. And I don't remember. There was like one more. So I have a couple. That I'm doing. Oh, it was some I drew out and I was like, nope, not doing it. Like I did start another Merlin. I might do one more Merlin and Mim in that same style. Obviously I can't replicate it because it was, there's no way to replicate it exactly. That's the beauty of the hand painted stuff. But I have another blue and another kit that I'm doing. So I feel like there's that I have to do. There's like a whole bunch. I started so many. I was so overwhelmed. I started like 20 paintings and I was like, I should see a doctor. Like I need to get this ADHD under control. It's King John, right? Somebody tried to tell me it was Prince John. I thought it was King John because I was like, isn't the whole thing he takes over the king thing? But he is also the king from Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Is he not the same as the one, him and the one in Robin Hood? They're like the same, right? It's the same way that my friend was like, it's not Baloo in this movie. And I was like, it sure as heck is Baloo. And they're like, well, it's the same voice actor. And I was like, it's the same bear. And I was like, I know that it's Little John, but I'm like, right? Little John? I don't remember. But it's like, I like to think about it as that those characters around that time were like the actors that played those parts. So, I don't know. Oh, Kimberly, Scott, hold on. I'll show you guys the ones I started then. That I don't know if I'm going to carry through with them or not because there's a part of me where I hate them. And there's a part of me, I just sometimes need different levels of motivation. So it's like, so here's the ones that are the thing. I don't usually show these, but just letting you know. Here's the Fox and the Hound one I'm working on. His brother was the king. Okay. This one will take me forever because I'm going to put it in a box and then take it back out and then put it in a box and then take it back out, put it in the box. I'm thinking something like fall colors in the background here. Here's the blue and the, whoops, it's supposed to go like this because it's supposed to look at each other. Here's the stupid thing that I did. I had this one out, but I turned it around so I couldn't see it. So when I drew this one out on the canvas, I was like, whoops, I made him way too big. But they're supposed to go together. Whatever. Anyway, whatever. And then just because I was feeling weird, he's almost done. Just doing the Arthur's fist. What am I even going to do? How am I even going to sell that one? You know what I mean? Why did I even do that one? I just thought it was funny. Anyway, those are my half done ones. And then I have the Merlin and the Mim. And then I have a Goliath from Gargoyles that I just don't think I'm ever going to finish. Gizmo from Gremlins is another one I had where I was like, maybe I'm going to revisit this one. I don't know. I didn't like how I like traced it out. So I was like, oh, I want to paint over it. And then I spray painted it anyways. And then I was like, maybe I'll just redraw it out again. I don't know. Yeah, sorry. Rocket likes to bark whenever I move. Okay. I have to go because I've got to go take care of them and do some other things before bed. I have to edit a video. And yeah, so I hope you're all doing well. It was nice of all of you to pop in here. And it was, I'll do another one of these. Definitely this weekend. I want to do one before I leave for California. I don't think I'll probably do one when I'm in California. Who knows, though? I'll bring my stuff, but I mean, I'll have my stuff there anyway. So, maybe I will. Maybe I don't know. No. I got to be out there enjoying California. I got to get out there. But yeah, so that's it. Thanks everybody for hanging out and stay tuned and letting me all show you my stuff, show you the art, to talk about the movies and everything like that. I feel like this is, I could have even lowered this even more. Anyway, whatever. Now I'm in my own head. So I hope everybody has a great night and you're doing well. And I'll see you soon. Bye. Bye.